Wesley, look at us. We're back.
Can you believe that? We had a great best of show last week, though.
We did. And, wow. I mean, there's a lot of great best of. We got like 350 of them. But starting out with the one and only Ben Gay the third, it'd be tough to get better than that, right?
It would. I actually rewatched it and got a couple of gems that I'd forgotten about.
Yeah. Yep. It was good. And for anybody that wonders, we'll drop those from time to time, just sometimes just for fun, because I think they are fun to just drop one. And I know a lot of people probably don't think that you and I have anything else to do, but just sit here all day waiting to do a podcast now and then. But we both do have a lot of other stuff going on. So every once in a while, scheduling gets in the way, and guest scheduling. And the good news is when you got around 350 something, whatever we're at, there's tons of great ones to drop now and then. And some of them are 3.5, 4 years old. So it's like you probably forgot it anyway. So we'll do it again. But you're looking good today, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Ditto.
Yeah, thank you. I just, as I mentioned, this is a true Road Warrior week. I'm in Manchester, New Hampshire right now. And I was in Concord exactly 1 hour ago. And
shaking hands, kissing babies.
Shaking hands, kissing babies, and bro hugged everybody there at this vendor I was at Metal Max in Concord, New Hampshire. They had a grand reopening and had a great time with a lot of customer friends. And I said, look, you got to give me an office someplace where you guarantee me you're going to be quiet, or I got to get on the road. And they said, well, get on the road. And I said, so yeah, we did the bro hugging and handshaking and baby kissing and out the road. And I walked in with 7 minutes to spare. So there we are.
Hey, how about that? And if it wasn't enough that we had a best of last week, we're going to have a revisiting of people that we've had on the show before that are from an absolutely awesome organization called Shield Wall that we've had on many times.
Yeah, our friends at Shield Wall Media are first class. They run some great shows, amazing magazines, just do so much for our industry. And yeah, today we're going to bring on Missy and Karen. We're going to chat about the upcoming, which is like under 7 weeks, basically 7 weeks right about now. The Post-Frame Building Show in York, Pennsylvania, which is going to be a blast as always. So I guess one or two things. We can go talk to them, or you and I can chat for a while, and nobody wants that. So
they're a lot better looking than me, Randy. So let's get me off and get them on. How's that?
Seems like a reasonably fair trade-off. I mean, you're kind of a handsome duck and all, but still.
Well, and two's better than one. So that's even more important.
That's it. Let's go do it.
All right, buddy.
All right. Cheers, brother. Look at this.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Wonderful.
We both paused. That's scary.
I know you're just so amazed that we're in the same room together like this. I understand that happens.
I paused because you just said 7 weeks to the show, and I had a little anxiety attack just now. But it's okay. It's fine. Well, it's like 48 days or something.
Yeah. So you think about it. I mean, we're recording it on Wednesday, and by the time this is dropped, it'll have been a little less than 7 weeks when people watch this.
Yeah.
Just take your anxiety medicine. You'll be all right.
Yeah. I don't have any, but I don't know what to do. I'll just choose
a good 9-ounce Cabernet or two will help.
There you go.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, little Dr. Pepper. I like that.
Dr. Pepper.
So, but before we get going, in case anybody, I doubt this. I'm just thinking about it. How anybody would not know who you two are, but just in case, Missy and Karen, introduce yourselves officially and what you do at Shield Wall Media, and maybe one of y'all just give us a little bit about who Shield Wall Media is again, if anybody's silly enough not to know.
Are we fighting for first? Go ahead, Karen.
I guess so. I am Karen Knapstein. I'm the managing editor at Shield Wall Media. I've been with the company since it was founded in 2019. We publish some legacy magazines. You'll see it on your screen there. I think we're up to 7 or possibly 8 now. We publish magazines, B2B magazines, all in the low-rise construction industry. And relevant to this show is most relevant is frame building news. which is one of the sponsors of the Post Frame Builder Show. So that's in a nutshell what we do. If you need to know anything about low-rise construction, check out shieldwallmedia.com. I'm sure that we publish a magazine that's going to help you out with the information that you need.
Perfect. Missy, you got anything to add to that? I mean, you got to find something you can't like Karen upstage.
So my name is Missy Beyer. I'm the show director. So basically what I do, we have two pretty great trade shows that we do a year. They're business to business. The one that we're talking about today is our Post Frame Builder Show. We also do the Construction Roll Forming Show in September. These are all, of course, aimed at the construction industry, business to business. Post Frame Builder Show. You'll see on our logo also says rural and plain. So as Karen said, Frame Building News is sort of our sister publication for that show. We like to bond those things together, the publications and the events, but also Rural Builder. And our newest magazine that we have is Plain Builder, which sort of focuses on those in the plain community, Amish, Mennonite. So the show is sort of an all-encompassing construction show. Business to business.
Yep. And we've been together at a lot of shows over the last several years, and I can tell you one thing, they're so well done. And so let's talk about the Post Frame Builder Show. It's in York, PA. Tell us a little bit about where York is and how do we get to York? I've never been to York.
York is a beautiful place to be. It's gorgeous. It's just if anybody was at our shows last year, it's actually about an hour away from our last show, our last year's show. It's at the York Convention Center, which is actually the York Arena, which is part of the fairgrounds actually. But we found that it was a really nice, big area, big space, a nice area for people to be able to get into, fly into easy, get there easy, and even people bringing campers and things like that will have places to park. So yeah, nice area. Amish country, of course. So, which I feel like all of Pennsylvania seems to be lately. Yes. But yeah, so a lot to see and a lot to do on top of the show, of course, after the show.
Exactly. So Karen, Misty just said campers and stuff. So, I mean, I could save a couple bucks and bring my tent maybe, right? I got a little pup tent, what do you think? And a little grill.
Bring your air mattress because that asphalt is going to be kind of hard about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So maybe
Randy, you're a friend of the family here. We're gonna do you a solid, and we're gonna let you put the tent right on the show floor.
Come on.
The carpet will be softer.
The carpet's a little bit more forgiving. It
is. So see, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're gonna have to pay for your own electric though. Don't try.
Always a catch.
Plug anything in without my.
Oh, okay, always a catch. You'll follow that one little cord back. Go, where did that cord go to?
Where'd that cord go? Yeah.
It'll shut the whole floor down. But Randy will be there with a TV and a big screen and.
We sort of owe it to you. You're moderating our barn dominium panel, so we have to give you a something.
That's like several years in a row, and I probably opened myself up to say this, but Wes and I tell people, guests, you have only two ways to get back on the show. Is that either you're very, very good, that we just got to have you back, which has kind of been you guys' case, or you really suck so bad that we got to give you one last shot to redemption. So I'm excited about the moderating the barn dominium panel again. So does that mean I've really screwed it up in the past and I get one last shot?
It's probably best that we not comment.
That's why I'm afraid.
We're just gonna keep it at.
Let's just leave that one alone. I wish. We might want to edit that one out, Wes.
You've been great and helping us with our roll farming panels as well. I mean, if anybody can wield a microphone, that's you, Randy. So it's fun and it's a good time. So while we've got it, Karen, are we ready to announce who we're going to have on the panel and what that looks like? Because I think most people probably understand what a panel is, but do we want to talk a little bit about that, or are we premature yet?
Missy is actually has taken the reins. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were in charge of that. Oh, you got the
I handed that off
and I
pawned it off
Karen
Well,
is a very busy lady.
with
Yeah.
the
Karen's got a lot
magazine
going on.
production we do a lot.
Yeah.
So the magazine production is where my focus has been.
Got it. Okay.
So Missy is all hail the queen of the shows.
Yeah.
Well,
oh goodness.
Okay, so same question, different person.
Okay,
Are we,
well,
are
I
we
don't
ready to talk about who's going to be on the panel yet, or not quite?
on
yet?
the I am not ready to talk about
Okay.
who's. I have a couple guys that are on the fence, and I don't.
Okay.
I feel I would be remiss if I started naming names
We don't
and
want to
not
do that.
having all the names. If that
We
makes
don't want
sense.
to be remiss. No remiss.
But to explain the barndominium panel,
Yes.
obviously, you know what it is, but our listeners and watchers might not know. Much like our seminars that we have educational kind of seminars every morning that people can sit in and watch. This is a little different, whereas we have a panel of people that, barn dough experts, everything from, we have some people in there that are all about financing and some people that are about the actual building of the barn doughs. So people that you can ask questions to. So our attendees come, and actually some of our exhibitors come and sit in on this panel to ask questions. One of the people that came to one of our discussions before said they liked the fact that they could ask the question anonymously ahead of time, because they felt it was a silly question. And then when it was asked, everybody's like, oh yeah, I want to know the answer to that too. So there are no silly questions. It's especially for those that are just getting into maybe the barn dominium niche. It's a nice opportunity to ask the experts. Like I said, we'll ask for questions ahead of time. Randy, you'll know what some of those questions are, and our guys will answer those. But during the actual discussion, people will have an opportunity to even write their questions on little pieces of paper if they need to. If they really don't want to stand up and say, "Yo, what do I not know?" And all of our seminars are so like friendly afterwards too. So we find that sometimes those panel members will stick around afterwards and talk to the attendees, and it's just a nice way for everybody to interact.
Yeah, it is. And what you thinking about what you just said is, I think it was the at the Roll Forming show, maybe might have been last year in Mannheim, but I remember we actually had to start easing some of the conversations out of the room because people wanted to stay and ask people on the panel like questions after the fact, and that means it was good, right? That means they was engaged, and there's things that they wanted to know. So that's one of the highlights, in my opinion. I think that's a great event that you guys do, and it's a pleasure to be involved.
And that's one of the things that we hear from our attendees after the show when we do some surveys and whatnot after the show, and when we talk to our attendees after the show, one of the things that they always say is their favorite part is going to the seminars and talking to people and getting, I met Mr. Graber, things like that. So they're very excited about those interactions and being able to ask the experts. So.
Exactly. And you hit on something in case anybody's watching or listening and are afraid. We do give them a lot of different opportunities on how to present their question. But I think the key to get over is, and you hit on it, and we all fear it sometimes in life that, oh, this is going to be a stupid question. I'm going to sound really dumb, and everybody's going to look at me like, well, how are you even in this room pretending you're some kind of a builder if you don't know that, right? Well, guess what? If there's 300 people in the room and you have the question, there's another 30 minimum that have the same question. Right? Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's always true. So it's just, I would just say, hey, man or girl up and just ask the question, because you're going to do yourself a disservice not to.
And you're doing other people a favor by asking as well. They might not even know they have that question. They might not even know that was something that they needed to question.
Right.
There was a moisture mitigation seminar at one point, and a guy came out of that, and I was just having me in the hall doing the whole taking pictures, and he came out and he said, boy, what all the things I didn't know that I didn't know. And I think that's another thing that they get out of the experience, even walking the show floor. They get to see some things that they didn't know existed. There was a roof vent at one of our shows that a contractor was walking the show and he said, I have never seen this roof vent before. And I don't know what it did special, because that's not I'm the show lady. I'm not the construction lady, but Karen probably knows what it did special, but it did something special. And he was just like, I've never even seen it. And I can't even believe it. I walked in and now I'm changing up the way I'm going to be doing things all year long. So it's just, even if they're not in there to make a huge order from somebody, they're in there to see what's new and then maybe go down the road and do those orders and make those connections.
Right. Well, and what I love about that, what you just said, Karen, that's so true, right? It's one of those statements that's made a lot, but you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And those are the worst, because if you know you don't know something,
right,
hopefully you have enough guts to step forward somewhere, somehow, and find out.
right.
But it's those things that you don't even know, that you don't know, that you never bothered to ask, that get you in trouble, right?
Right, exactly. And Missy and I are fortunate enough that we're in a position where we're between the builders in the industry and the manufacturers. So a lot of this information comes through us, that we disseminate this information through our events, through our magazines, to the people who are going to benefit from it. So, the builders and the building manufacturers, specifically, that's why we have so many equipment manufacturers at the Post Frame Builder Show, is for all those builders who want to capture their supply chain and manufacture the components themselves and put their building kits together and sell them to builders or subcontract or whatever. But whether it's things like this, that what kind of equipment, what kind of materials, what kind of processes, all of those things, I always look at my position as I'm glass, right? I'm going to transmit all of that information that I can as clearly as possible to the people who it's going to benefit, and that's going to be the builders and the contractors and the people who are going to benefit from learning about what the manufacturers have, what they're developing, what they're offering. And those manufacturers, they debut a lot of things at trade shows, because that's where they can have those face-to-face conversations with the people that it's going to matter to. So yeah, I kind of got on a soapbox there, but
that's fine. The good thing about that is I have no idea what I even asked you, so we're good.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. That's on me, not you. Now I'm just kidding. So Misty, because I want to talk about the show, and we know the dates, but let's talk about what the show days look like. And because a thing that I want to that's been really important to me for a lot of reasons, is that there's more than just the booth time, right? There's all the other networking opportunities that you guys do such a great job of presenting. If attendees, whether you're attendees or exhibitors, will take advantage of those, and a term I like to use, but see and be seen, right? And if you just show up for the booth, because the show floor opens at 1:00, pick a time.
Yeah, you're missing out on so much. Yeah,
you're missing out on so much. So all those opportunities, and to circle back, I guess, to my real question, or to bring up all the different things we have going there. But some of the best opportunities are those before the educational events start. The continental breakfast, the events. I mean, that's where everybody's at. They're looser. They're not all keyed up. They're just kind of like relaxed, and that's where you can really walk up and introduce yourself, learn from new people, meet new people, right? And I think you guys do a great job of presenting all these different opportunities, right? Not just it's not just a booth. It's a lot more than that.
Right. Oh, you're ringing.
I am
trying
trying to get rid of it. I thought I shut my phone off.
Well, to what you're saying, I guess the show day looks a little bit like beyond the booth. Let's just say beyond the booth. When you're coming in the morning, the show doesn't open up until 10 o'clock. So from 8 until 10, you're looking at, say on Wednesday, we'll start with Wednesday because that's the first day of the show. As an attendee, you have your seminars in the morning. We make sure we have a little continental breakfast out there for you because we got to keep you in coffee because we got to keep you awake. So we'll have a continental breakfast that's generally sponsored by one of our exhibitors. So we'll have that going on. You're going to go to your seminars. You're going to make your connections. There's 2 different rooms going on at both times. So you're going to have maybe one room may have something about finance where the other room might have something about moisture mitigation. Or one room might be Randy talking about his road warrior stuff. And another one might be somebody talking about trusses. So you can pick and choose and go to the session that you'd like to go to. And then when the show opens up, we generally have people waiting to get into the show. Show opens up, of course, you have that booth time, seeing all the booths going around. The cool thing about our show that's different a bit from everybody else's shows, first of all, that one cost at the door gets you into everything. And if you know somebody on the show floor, if you know one of the exhibitors and you give them a call, they all have unlimited free passes. So you don't have to necessarily pay to get into the show. You can get in for free, and that's still going to cover all the seminars and everything. The nice thing about when you do pay to get it through the show, all of those through the door monies go to charity because we're all about giving back. We're all about being family friendly. So when you bring your family and you want to walk the show with your family, your wife and your 17 children that are little, we're not going to charge you for those little niblets that you're bringing with. Niblets. But we do have a nice area. It's a Max's little rest stop area. Max is our sort of shield wall media mascot and the star of some of our books, our children's books. So we have a area where everybody can sort of relax, sit down, chill out. There's some games for the kids, things like that, so that when they get a little bit overwhelmed, or maybe you don't want them in your meeting with one of your vendors, they can go and chill. So you got your booth time. This is still Wednesday. You're having a great time. Concessions are open. You're going to go get yourself a snack for lunch, whatever. But you're not going to eat too much because Wednesday is our big banquet day. So all attendees and exhibitors are invited to join us for food and drink and entertainment. It's actually right just off the show floor. So it's in the same venue. Nobody has to go anywhere. And that's a great networking opportunity. Right. Go get yourself. I'm not going to say the kind of food you're going to be eating because it's going to be a surprise. It's still sort of a surprise to our caterers. So
it's always good.
It's always good.
Always good.
It's always good. It's people talk about our food spreads a lot. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that maybe I should go into some other business, maybe hosting banquets or something. Yeah. But so yeah, interactions there during that starts right at the end of the show. Actually starts before the end of the show. Show ends at 5, but we start that. It's sort of a walk around buffet kind of thing. And that starts at 4:30, and everybody's welcome. And there's no cost. It includes your food and your drinks. And again, there'll be entertainment. And then you're going to go home back to your hotel, which isn't far down the road. We do have 2 host hotels, and soak your feet because the next day you're going to be back at 8. And you're going to start all over with different seminars. And it's just 2 full days of interacting and business to business stuff. But still family friendly enough that after the show's done on Thursday, you can stay for the weekend and do some fun stuff. And there's lots of stuff to do in Pennsylvania in general, but in the York area. So
yeah, and and one of the things that I know you talk about a lot, and Karen, I think Gary says it a lot, and I'll see if I get it right. But the show, everybody's welcome, right? The families, all the people. but it's still kind of geared. And if I get this right, the way Gary says it, he'll drop a weight on my head. But is that or stick Max on me, either one, Dog Max or Son Max. I don't know which one.
Either one. Either one.
Either one. I'm not going to mess with. But is he likes to make sure that there's plenty of time and opportunity for the people that sign the front of the check versus the back of the check. And I think what he means by that, and I'm going to say what I think it is, and please correct me, but everybody's welcome. I've never seen everybody incredibly welcome, but he wants to make sure, I've been to some of the gigantic shows where you never get a chance to talk to who you want to talk to. Right. And there's a real opportunity here. And I think Gary and you all go out of your way to make sure that if you're that business owner of if you're Billy of Billy Bob's Post Frame Building and you want to talk to the guy from vendor X, you're going to be able to do that. Right.
Yeah.
It easily. Am I correct on that? Is all that right? Or do we need to edit all that out because I just made that all up?
Nope, you are right. Absolutely correct.
Good, because I haven't got much sleep this week, so I might have made it up. I was a little worried.
We're not the events for guys who want to walk in and buy a box of nails. That's not us. Our shows are for people who are in the position to buy pallet, truckload, and container quantities of widgets. So
no widgets. We don't have any widgets at the show.
Oh, the widget guy backed out?
The widget guy,
yeah. That's it. I may not come.
Yeah.
I look forward to the widget guy.
Yeah, the only people we discourage from coming is those people who think they're going to sell in the aisles. That's not something that we support or are interested in. We're interested in protecting our exhibitors' investment in exhibiting at the show.
Yep.
So
exactly.
And we do everything possible in order to do that. So I don't think anybody's seen me to do a backflip yet, but I'll attempt it to give somebody what they need.
I heard Misty yelling one time. It scared me. And I wasn't doing anything wrong, but
sometimes usually it's Gary yelling and Missy trying to calm him down.
Calm him down. So to be clear with that, because I think it's an important subject.
It is.
Vendors pay a lot of money. And it's not just the show cost to you guys. It's the travel, the trips, the rooms for 8 people, and all the stuff that goes into that, right?
Calling in a roll former.
All that stuff. And all you're asking, which is a pretty simple ask, is if you want to, quote, sell from the show floor, have a booth and join the gang.
In fact, I have told people already, 10 by 10 booth is not that expensive. Like you said, the real expense of a show isn't that 10 by 10 booth. No. It's the travel and the freight and all the extra stuff that comes up with it. Right. So if you really, I've told a company just last week, if you want to bring your 15 sales reps to my show, because I know what they're going to be doing at my show, get a 10 by 10 and you just put your suitcases there. I don't care what you do with your 10 by 10 space, but now you're an exhibitor and you're not selling from the aisles. And it's really there's really no gray area. If we catch you and if our exhibitors catch you selling from the aisle, you're going to be asked to leave and never, ever come back to a Shield Wall show. And that means your entire company. So I had to explain it to somebody last show. Mm-hmm. You're not just messing it up for yourself. You're messing it up for your company. And we take our exhibitors and our customers very, very seriously. They are there to do business, and we want to make sure that they're able to, and we just want to respect them. And that part of that is sometimes being a little harder on some other people, but we actually have a reward if you catch somebody selling from the aisle and you point it out to us. A bounty. You have a bounty. Yeah.
I'm figuring out a way to pay for part of this trip right now.
Yeah. There you go. I'll just put some cash in my pockets, and I know Gary walks around with cash in his pockets to hand out bounties.
But so nobody misinterprets that. See, there's no negative to that.
No.
It's all positive. It's not a negative thing. That's a common sense thing that unfortunately you have to police, because there's always going to be that one or two people that just won't follow some basic.
I'm not saying that if you come to the show because you want to interact with vendor Z, and while you're talking to vendor Z realizes, holy moly, you have this widget. And, like, I'd like to buy that widget from you and you can buy this from me. That's not selling from the aisle. You're doing commerce and that's fine. I'm talking about those guys that are bringing in their roller bags and their flyers and saying, hey, look at my widgets. It would be the same as if you're at a retail show and they're pulling around a bag of their wares and selling it from their suitcase. It's the same kind of thing. It's just, it sounds negative, but it really is a positive thing for our shows. And like you said, with the signing of the checks, another positive is that you don't have just the people who can't make decisions. We have some of them, but mostly the people who are invited, we invite people to come to the show, are going to be those people who are signing the front of the check, not the back. So, that's what you can expect in the aisles. Let's just put it that way.
Love it. I think it's great. So you mentioned there's a couple hotels in town. Rooms are still available at some kind of a. Yeah.
It's a deal. The Wyndham and the La Quinta are the two hotels that gave it. I personally think they gave us a good deal. I did have somebody, and I'm just to be clear, did have somebody say that they were able to find a better deal by going on their website and using their membership. You have your like Wyndham rewards or whatever there are. So, just do your due diligence. But those are the two. They're listed on our website, so it's easy to go on there. And there's if you just mention the Post Frame Builder Show, you're going to get the special rate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't be any easier than that. So how travel in? That's one thing we should probably talk about. People that aren't driving, fly into Harrisburg, fly into Baltimore, Philadelphia, any of the
Harrisburg, three. Yeah, any of the three will work. I think we're going to be flying into Harrisburg. I think that makes the most sense for us. It's not that far.
We'll see, though. We got to wait and see what's going on with the airlines, because there's been some sketchy stuff. Maybe we should drive.
Personally, Karen and I prefer driving. Gary does call us Thelma and Louise, and there's reasons, but
I believe it. Well, good. So great food, great event, hotel space is good, networking. What else? What else is going on we need to know about?
I don't know.
Other than just be there, because
be there, be square.
Because we're going to have all of the there are so many exhibitors that there are going to be companies there who have the products, the materials, the software, the services, anything that a post frame company needs to effectively and successfully and profitably run their business. So if you need to find something about post frame building, this is where you can find it.
This is it. Yeah. This is where you can find it without all the extras, without all the standing outside somebody's booth, wanting to talk to them, but not being able to, because there's 3 deep talking about things that have nothing to do with buying. Karen's right. And it that sits for the people who've been in the industry for a long time, or the people who are just starting out. We have a lot of people reaching out now that are just starting their own shops or they're expanding and want to add a roll former to their shop, and they're doing their stuff, but they're thinking, if I roll form my own things, I can save some money in the long run. So we have every level coming to the show.
Hey friends, it's Randy here, the owner of Source One Marketing. I bought from Randy.com, and I got to tell you, we are proud to sponsor the Building Wins Live podcast and vlogcast. We have 4+ decades in this beautiful industry of supplying materials, supplying services, supplying marketing assistance, and we just are proud to sponsor Building Wins Live and some great guests that we have every single week. Many of them from our beloved industry and many of them from outside the industry that still bring some incredible content. So make sure to check us out at ibuyfromrandy.com and let us know what you think about this show. For now, thanks for checking this out. Let's get back to the show.
Got it. Perfect. Awesome. Karen, any last words before we get out of here?
No. If anybody has any questions for that barndominium panel, they can call or email Missy or myself, and we'll get it on the list and make sure that it's addressed. So they don't have to wait until they're through the door to start the process of finding the answers that they need. They can reach out to us at any time.
And we're going to do the panel on Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Is that the deal? 10 a.m.?
You're going to be there at 7, Randy.
I'll be there at 7. I just won't go to that. I know I will. I'm going to be in my pup tent with the big screen TV on the show floor.
Yeah.
We already established that.
We'll be on Wednesday. We're contemplating making it the last one of the day on Wednesday, just because of exactly what you said, where people sort of mingle afterwards. There's a plus and minus to that with the show opening up. People try to get into the show floor right away, but so there's a little contemplation on that. But the other thing,
exhibitors are not going anywhere.
The exhibitors aren't going anywhere. They're still there. They're still there. They're going to be there an hour in, 2 hours in. Yep. The one thing that Karen didn't mention that we should mention, and because Karen's executive editor here at Shieldwall, she's always looking for projects. So the people that are watching this and listening to this, just remember that we are really interested in you and in what you're doing and your projects, and there's ways to send in pictures and give us a list of the components you use. Mm-hmm. And I hate the term free press, but really that's what it is. It's free press for you, content for us, and honestly, our readers want to see it. So
earned media, right? It's
absolutely.
It's a big part, and it's silly. It's good for you and silly for people not to take advantage of. So exactly. All right, Missy, any parting words from you? Because this has been great. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon.
Yeah. I want to see everybody in June. I want to see everybody there. And I did just this morning have to add some more booths. We're squitching in some more booths because people are still coming in. So if you drop the ball and you still need to get in, give me a call. I'll find a space for you over by the bathrooms. That's where I have Randy, so you can be right next to him.
That's fine. We'll be together. Me and my pup tent. If as a team player, I'll go from a 70-inch big screen down to like a 13-inch black and white with rabbit ears.
Oh, wow!
See, that's how far I'm willing to go for you.
Wow!
Wow!
Special.
That is special. Yeah. All right, ladies, it's as always, it's a pleasure chatting with you, and appreciate your friendship and support and loyalty to the show here and what you do for the industry. I mean, I'm a lifer in this crazy, goofy world, and it's a pleasure to see people do what you guys do and make it happen. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, really. Thank you. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of.
It is.
Absolutely.
All right. So what final thing, we got to end with this. The dates are, I got it wrote down here, June 10 and 11, right? June
That's
10 and 11.
June 10 and 11.
All right. So we always end with something. And Wes reminds me when I forget, but should ask questions. So either or both of you can answer this one. But when you're talking to people like myself, vendors, anybody about the industry, about what you guys do, it doesn't matter. What is something that you just wish people would ask more and never do? What do we miss? What do people that aren't actively ingrained with Shieldwall Media forget that they ought to ask?
That is a good question.
I thought so. It was brilliant. Wes's idea, but
Yeah. One question that I wish I would hear more of is, how can I be included? How can I be a part of this? I think that people, they don't know. They might feel a little overwhelmed about asking that, because I grew up in the Midwest, so very humble don't want to ask something and have it be impolite or anything like that. But if somebody has a question, they should ask. And, and I would dearly love to hear more people ask, how can I be involved in frame building news? How can I be more involved in Rural Builder? How do I get this topic covered in the magazine? Because I think that more people need to know about this. The first step is calling. Call us and ask, and we're always happy to have article topic suggestions. We're always happy to talk with somebody on the phone. I'm a wordsmith. I'm like on the computer and writing and things like that, but there's no replacement for a conversation on the phone, or even better, a face-to-face conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't be shy with me. I'm here. It makes me happy to help somebody, and that's the way most of us here at Shield Wall are. So
Perfect.
That's my message.
That makes sense. You want to add anything to that, Misty?
Similar message, only on the show end of things. I find that people have a lot to offer that don't realize they have a lot to offer. As I've been talking to people to help with some of the seminars, they don't understand, they don't realize how much they have to offer with what they know. And they sort of, they'll come out after a show and go, wow, I wish I had thought I could have talked about that. I know a lot more about that, or I know this, I know that. And it's just, if they could just see in themselves what they have to give. And if they would just be willing to just pick up the phone or shoot me an email and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Because we brainstorm all the time for shows, all the time. But somebody will come up with something that's like, really? We hadn't thought of that. So, for our shows, again, they're different. They're different. Our exhibitors get a lot of perks that other people don't get at other shows. And it's because we've been exhibitors at shows before, and we know what we would have liked. So sometimes it's just a simple conversation with somebody and I go, wow, yeah, you're right. It would be really cool if we provided that. And I just wish more people were very open and willing to say something. Again, it's that Midwest nice kind of thing where they think they're going to step on your toes. And really, I love the ideas.
Yep. That's great. Perfect. It kind of fits right into what I would like to say at the end then, which is, and it's a topic that I'll say anywhere and everywhere is we need to live in our industry, not off our industry, right? We spend too much time just thinking it's a job and a paycheck. Mm-hmm. And it could be that, but it's much more beneficial to us all. It's much more rewarding if we live within the industry, which means we, do these goofy things like give back a little bit now and then and get involved and see how we can get involved. Like you both just said so eloquently, is be involved in the industry. Don't just, screw screws and nail nails and toss up trusses all day long and go home. Get involved in the industry,
right.
So, well, anyways, we will see you in June in beautiful York. I've heard it's beautiful. I don't know.
It's gorgeous. All of Pennsylvania is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous place to be.
All right, perfect. Well, if I get into Harrisburg and can't find a ride, I'll hitch a ride with you two then or something.
Yeah, just give us a call. We're going to have a minivan. It'll just be just
perfect.
Spoken.
It'll be grand.
Yeah.
Just have room for my pump tent. I can't say that word. Have room for that. All right.
Yep.
We'll see you then. I appreciate you jumping on and chatting about the show. Look forward to it. And as always, it'll be amazing.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks
for everything.
Thanks, ladies. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. There we go. Shield Wall Media, and the upcoming show is going to be spectacular. June 10th and 11th in York, PA. Don't miss it. I'll be there all week. And if you're there, shout out. Make sure we catch up and chat. And now I say it all the time. I'll say it again. Love what I do what I love. You only get to go around once, so live it, love it, own it. And you know what? While you're at it, go make today your best day ever. Until tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.